This is Christina Birchler, and I'd like to introduce you to my 2014 Technology Trend Watch. Today I'd like to discuss 3D printing. First, let's start by talking about what a 3D printer is. 3D printers are the new generation of machines that can make everyday things. They're remarkable because they can produce different kinds of objects in different materials, all from the same machine. A 3D printer can make pretty much anything from ceramic cups to plastic toys, metal machine parts, stoneware vases, fancy chocolate cakes, or even one day soon, human body parts. If you look closely at a page of text from your home printer, you'll see the letters don't just stain the paper, they're actually sitting slightly on top of the surface of the page. In theory, if you printed over that same page a few thousand times, eventually the ink would build up enough layers on top of each other to create a solid 3D model of each letter. So how does the new technology work? You start by designing a 3D object on an ordinary home PC. Connect it to a 3D printer, press print, and then sit back and watch. The process is a bit like making a loaf of sliced bread, but in reverse. Imagine baking each individual slice of bread and then gluing them together into a whole loaf. That's basically what a 3D printer does. The 3D printing process turns a whole object into thousands of tiny little slices, then makes it from the bottom up slice by slice. Those tiny layers stick together to form a solid object. Each layer can be very complex. So what is a world with 3D printing like? It means if you break something, you can simply print a new one. If you want something at home, you just simply print it. Nothing's ever out of stock. There's less waste, packaging, and pollution. Everyday items are made to measure to your requirements. Custom-made furniture that fits to your home, shoes for your feet, door handles made to fit your hand, meals printed to your tastes at the touch of a button, medicines, bones, organs, and skin made to treat your injuries. If you're wealthy, you can get some of those things now, but 3D printing brings affordable manufacturing to the masses. If that sounds like pure fantasy, try Googling personalized 3D printing products and see for yourself. After all, the notion of doing your supermarket shopping on an iPad was like something out of Star Trek 20 years ago. Seem too good to be true? Oftentimes things are, but there are limitations. Buying a 3D printer is much cheaper than setting up a factory. The cost per item you produce is higher, so the economics of 3D printing doesn't stack up against traditional mass production yet. It also can't match the smooth finish of industrial machines, nor offer the variety of materials or range of sizes available through industrial processes. But, like so many household technologies, the prices will come down and 3D printer capabilities will improve over time. Let's discuss some ways 3D printing can be used in education. Of course, one of the first groups that comes to mind are engineering students. Christopher Williams, assistant professor with Virginia Tech's Department of Mechanical Engineering and Department of Engineering Education, offers this quote, "If you dream it, we can build it." Their Dream Lab is dedicated to exploring the field of 3D printing. Williams says any innovative idea a student has for an invention, object, or tool can be made ready, thus cutting development time and the hassle of finding proper machines. The object doesn't have to be a new invention either, but simply a fun item. Architecture students can also take advantage of 3D printing. Students use 3D printing to help them design models that will later become real buildings. They can use this in curriculum to help design the perfect buildings, improve communication with their clients, and also save time by using the printers to present their ideas. History teachers and professors would typically have to rely on pictures of historical artifacts. Watch here as scientists from the Smithsonian use 3D imaging to, as they say, put museum visitors in the driver's seat. Arguably, one of the fields that could benefit most from 3D printing is graphic design. Graphic design students can print out 3D versions of their artwork. Geography students can use 3D printing to print out topography, demographic, and population maps. Students in the culinary field can create molds for food products. Imagine being a student in the field of auto mechanics. Run diagnostic testing on a car and then, to fix it, print out replacement parts or modified examples of existing parts for testing. In the field of chemistry, students can print out 3D models of molecules. Biology students would be able to print out cells, viruses, organs, and other critical biological artifacts. Math students can print out their problems to solve in their own learning spaces, from scale models to city infrastructural design challenges. So how can we sum all this up? Why should schools use 3D printers? Students can touch and hold objects, which can aid tactile learners. 3D printers can bring students' creations to life, which can be a powerful learning experience. Printing out prototypes can help students refine their designs and better understand the creation process. So are 3D printers the next big thing in education? Like all new technologies, the industry hype is a few years ahead of the consumer reality. It is an emerging technology, which means like home computers or mobile phones, most people will remain skeptical about needing one until everyone has got one. And then we'll all wonder how we ever managed without them. These are the websites that were used to aid in the creation of this video. If you'd like to find out more information about 3D printers and printing capabilities to be used in schools, please visit any one of these sites. The most valuable for this video was the teachthought.com.